Welcome back to Utah Jazz News. Today we're diving into one of the most exciting possibilities for the Jazz as they continue to build their team for the future. As trade rumors swirl, one name has stood out as a potential game-changer for Utah. All-star forward Brandon Ingram. Could Ingram be the piece that pushes the Jazz into serious playoff contention? Let's break down the possibilities and see how this move could shape the future of the franchise. The Utah Jazz have spent the last few seasons carefully rebuilding their rosters. Through smart trades and draft picks, they've stockpiled a wealth of assets, including young players, veterans with valuable contracts, and a treasure trove of future draft picks. With these pieces in place, the Jazz are poised to make a significant move. And Brandon Ingram could be the perfect target. Ingram, a 6'8" inches forward with a unique combination of size, scoring, and playmaking ability, has been a standout player for the New Orleans Pelicans, coming off a season where he averaged 20.8 points, 5.1 rebounds, and 5.7 assists per game. Ingram has shown he can be a top-tier player in the NBA. With his current contract set to expire after the 2024-25 season, the Pelicans may be hesitant to offer him a max deal, which opens the door for a trade. For the Jazz, pairing Ingram with their all-star forward Lauri Markkanen could create one of the most dynamic front-court duos in the league. But what would it take to bring Ingram to Utah, and how would he fit with this young, developing team? Let's explore the possibilities. According to recent reports, the Jazz could realistically target Brandon Ingram in a trade, with Walker Kessler and future draft considerations as potential pieces of the deal. While trading Kessler, a promising young center, would be a tough decision, acquiring a player of Ingram's caliber could be worth the price. Kessler has shown great potential, particularly on the defensive end. But when you have a chance to land a player like Ingram, you have to seriously consider it. Ingram's ability to score from all three levels, inside mid-range and beyond the arc, would immediately bolster Utah's offense. He's also an underrated playmaker, capable of setting up teammates and creating his own shot in crunch time. This kind of offensive versatility is something the Jazz have lacked since trading Donovan Mitchell. Additionally, Ingram's length and athleticism would make Utah's front court a nightmare for opposing teams. Pairing him with Markkanen, who has blossomed into one of the most versatile big men in the league, would give the Jazz two dynamic forwards who can stretch the floor, defend multiple positions, and create mismatches all over the court. With a core of Markkanen, Ingram, and emerging talent like Ochai Agbaji, the Jazz would have a young, exciting team that could grow into a legitimate contender in the Western Conference. While adding Brandon Ingram would undoubtedly make the Jazz better in the short term, the real question is how he would fit into the team's long-term plans. At just 26 years old, Ingram is entering the prime of his career. Locking him into a long-term deal would give Utah a star to build around for years to come. One of the keys to this potential trade would be ensuring that Ingram is willing to commit to the Jazz for the long haul. The Jazz have the cap space and assets to make him a compelling offer, but they need to be sure he sees Utah as a place where he can thrive and lead a team. With Danny Ainge and the Jazz front office's track record of building competitive rosters, there's reason to believe Ingram could be convinced to stay. If Utah can secure Ingram, they would have a player who not only fits their timeline but also has the potential to attract other top talent to Salt Lake City. With Ingram, Markkanen, and a growing supporting cast, the Jazz could quickly transition from a rebuilding team to a perennial playoff contender. While no trade is imminent, the possibility of bringing in Brandon Ingram represents a significant opportunity for the Utah Jazz. They have the assets, the flexibility, and the need for a player who can elevate them to the next level. Ingram's scoring ability, playmaking, and defensive potential make him an ideal fit alongside Lauri Markkanen and the Jazz's young core. The trade wouldn't come without its risks, especially if the Jazz are forced to part with valuable pieces like Walker Kessler. But in today's NBA, you have to take risks to build a championship contender. For the Jazz, acquiring Ingram could be the bold move that transforms them from a rebuilding team to a legitimate threat in the Western Conference. Keep your eyes on this potential trade as the 2024-25 NBA season approaches. With Ingram in the fold, the Utah Jazz could be well on their way to building something special